I want to take you back to a simpler time in the WWE. It's the summer of 2016. 1 week after SummerSlam, to be exact, the brand split is in full effect. We have a brand new Universal Champion in Finn Balor. He defeated Seth Rollins in a pretty amazing match at SummerSlam, although it was kind of overshadowed by the ugly belt and the fans chanting. But sadly, he was injured in the match. A fatal four-way has been made between Big Cass, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens. After a pretty hilarious segment earlier in the night, we get our fatal four-way match. Obviously, Big Cass, the weakest of the three in terms of status, is eliminated first, and we get down to Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. Everyone obviously goes for the two more popular picks of Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins to take the title. Triple H, however, returns and attacks Roman Reigns, getting him eliminated and helping his protege Seth Rollins, only to then help him to his feet and turn on him, delivering a pedigree to Rollins and allowing Kevin Owens to win the Universal Championship. This was the start of Kevin Owens' one and only World Championship reign in the WWE. After years and years of traveling the independent scene, after winning world championships in the likes of Ring of Honor, PWG, and various other independent companies, Kevin Steen finally had made his way to WWE, made it through NXT, becoming NXT champion in a very quick amount of time, making it up to the main roster, defeating John Cena in his debut, finally is the world champion. As awful as it is that Finn Balor is injured, we have our new Universal Champion in Kevin Owens. Simpler time, am I right? Today I'm going to be talking about why I believe Kevin Owens deserves another world championship reign. Now, in my opinion, his Universal Championship reign is honestly the best one that we've had so far, although the bar is kind of low. We had Finn Balor, who was immediately injured. We had Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, who were part-timers. We had Roman Reigns, who relinquished it very early on. We had Seth Rollins, and that reign was just really awful. We had Bray Wyatt, and some people like that, but I'm just really not a fan of The Fiend, and he's not like a proper actual wrestler. He's more of like a gimmick superstar. And the current champion, Braun Strowman. So I think it's pretty easy to say that Kevin Owens probably had the best world championship reign in terms of the Universal Championship, at least in its short history. But that reign certainly could have been a lot better.
This is still the Kevin Owens show. I will be WWE World Champion.
Going back to his first reign, obviously the plan was for Finn Balor to be the Universal Champion, and he was actually originally supposed to have his first feud with Kevin Owens, which would have been pretty amazing, but due to the obvious circumstances, Kevin Owens got lucky and he was given the opportunity to be the top champion on Raw after the brand split. He'd actually have a pretty decently long reign where he'd mainly feud with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on the Red brand, and he'd actually put on quite a few amazing matches, although there were a few reasons that this reign wasn't that good. The first being that he lost his whole prize fighter gimmick and became a bit of a cowardly champion, which happens with most heels. When Owens was in NXT as the NXT champion, or originally came up to the main roster, he was there to get paid and to provide for his family, and he would do this by any means necessary. He'd be more of the dirty heel that would do anything that it takes to win, but he would always want to fight, whereas he would become the guy who couldn't win a match clean and needed help from his best friend Chris Jericho. Speaking of which, Chris Jericho big time overshadowed him whenever he was the champion. This is just because Chris Jericho is absolute comedy gold. He had the List of Jericho, which was the hottest thing in the company at the time. Everyone was talking about the List, and he just overall kind of overshadowed Kevin Owens. It forced them into more of a comedy role, and they became just two comedic wrestlers, and it was pretty well Chris Jericho's job to help him win every single match and to get him out of any tough situation. Almost in every single one of his title defenses, he did not win clean, completely changing his character in the process. The other big problem I had with his reign is the way he dropped the title, obviously, to Goldberg in just a matter of seconds. It made Kevin Owens look so weak, and it was just awful because no one wanted to see the strap on Goldberg, and going into Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, we could have had Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the Universal Championship and just had Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. But that's besides the point. We aren't talking about this reign. We are talking about why he deserves a new reign and why he deserves a better one.
This is still the Kevin Owens show. I will be WWE World Champion.
When Kevin Owens first came to the company in 2015, he was a babyface for a few hours in NXT. He had his debut match, and then later in the night turned on his best friend after he won the NXT Championship and powered him right onto the hardest part of the ring. Then a month later, he destroys his best friend and take his championship, the thing that he had worked so long for in NXT. Kevin Owens became a heel just like that. And honestly, everyone thought this man should never change because he was such a good heel. He was good at getting people to hate him. He was good at making us cheer for the babyfaces, despite the fact that everyone wanted to cheer for him as well. He could just get that reaction out of you where you would want to see him lose. Now, if you would have asked me and many other wrestling fans just a couple of years ago if Kevin Owens should ever turn face, we would all say hell no. Until it did happen last year in 2019 when he came back from an injury as a face, mainly feuding with Daniel Bryan while he was doing his new Daniel Bryan eco-friendly gimmick. And my God, has Kevin Owens ever worked as a face. It's really shown how versatile he is, being able to play both the heel and the face roles just perfectly. Whether you need this man to be that guy that everyone wants to punch in the face just because he's so cowardly and annoying and just he's so good at what he does, but I just hate him because he's an asshole. But he can also be that family man that you want to cheer for, that just wants to go out there and put on a good match and do the right thing and put these guys down, like the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins or the new Daniel Bryan. If you need this guy to go out there and do a comedy act, you can pie him in the face or have his car flipped over. If you need someone to take some insane, crazy bump, you can have him do this.
Unbelievable!
Or this.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Or this.
Oh
If you need a guy to fill up a multi-man match who can do some amazing spots and keep it entertaining and be a potential winner, he's the guy. If you need some insane hardcore match, he's your guy. If you need just a standard one-on-one wrestling match, he's amazing at that too. There is not a damn thing this man can't do, and he is just one of the most versatile wrestlers in the company. I mean, for God's sakes, they even let him headbutt Vince McMahon in the bloody head.
This is still the Kevin Owens show. I will be WWE World Champion.
Now this section of the video, match quality. Kevin Owens, in my opinion, is one of the best pure wrestlers in the company. He has such a wide moveset. He can go at it with just about any wrestler, any different style. He can find a way to make it work. And honestly, when I was coming up with matches for this video, there were just so many more than I even realized. So many classic Kevin Owens matches, and this is just since he signed with WWE. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a list. If you're looking for some amazing Kevin Owens matches, I highly recommend you check out any of the following. His main roster debut at Elimination Chamber 2015 when he defeated John Cena. The match where he dropped the NXT Championship to Finn Balor at Beast in the East. His NXT TakeOver Brooklyn ladder match rematch with Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. His vicious Royal Rumble 2016 Last Man Standing match with Dean Ambrose. An absolute classic for the Intercontinental Championship, the Fatal 4-Way match at Extreme Rules 2016 against The Miz, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Probably his best pure wrestling match since coming to the WWE, Battleground 2016 against good friend turned better enemy Sami Zayn. His brutal Hell in a Cell 2016 match with Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. His Royal Rumble 2016 match with Roman Reigns where Chris Jericho was suspended from above the ring inside of a shark cage. His Hell in a Cell 2017 match with, of all people, Shane McMahon. His Fastlane 2019 Triple Threat WWE Championship match against Daniel Bryan and Mustafa Ali. And most recently, his WrestleMania 36 Barnstormer with the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins. And that's just so far. This man is signed to quite the long-term contract in WWE. So there are plenty of big matches to come for the prize fighter. No matter what the match is and whoever his opponent is, he can make an amazing matchup. Plain and simple. He's one of the best guys inside of the squared circle. And those were just some of my personal favorites. He's had so many other classic matches since coming to the WWE, whether it be on pay-per-view or Raw, SmackDown, or even his days whenever he was in NXT and allowed to showcase a little bit more. Kevin Owens is just an amazing wrestler. It's plain and simple. He is the guy that you could count on to put on classic World Championship matches every single month.
This is still the Kevin Owens show. I will be WWE World Champion.
Now, one area that Kevin Owens really exceeds is in promos. When you look at several of the top talkers in WWE at the moment, you've got The Miz, Paul Heyman, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole down in NXT. Hell, even Drew McIntyre. I'll throw him in there. I love Drew's promos. There are so many great promos in the company, but in my personal opinion, Kevin Owens is definitely in the top 3 and could very well be number 1. Whether you need him to be yelling and super intense, you need him to be calm and collected, and Kevin Owens is your guy. He's one of the best trash talkers. He can shoot down a babyface and make you want to boo him. The dude can even run a pretty entertaining talk show, which, I mean, obviously most of the best talkers in the company have had that at some point. Whether you be a fan of The Miz, Chris Jericho, or so many other superstars throughout the company's past. Right when you're done this video, look up Kevin Owens promo or funny or roast compilation. There are so many videos just compiling him in interviews, whether it be him roasting Renee Young, whether he be on commentary making fun of Michael Cole, because we all love making fun of Michael Cole. He's a fucking dork. Or his very intense promos building up to championship matches, Kevin Owens is without a doubt one of the best talkers signed to the company at the moment. Fun fact, Kevin Owens' first language is actually French. He was born in Quebec, very close to Montreal, so of course, his first language was French. How did he learn to speak English? By listening to Jim Ross's commentary. Just thought I'd throw that in there, you know, as a fellow Canadian boy. I'm not French at all. But the fact that this dude's first language is French and you don't even hear a hint of a French accent in there at all, and he is still able to be one of the top talkers in the company, really says a lot. But in conclusion, guys, I really enjoy Kevin Owens. I think he's an amazing champion and an amazing heel or face at the moment, and I really do hope that he does get another world championship run, because boy, does he deserve better than what he got in 2016. I mean, this dude had such a long Universal Championship reign and carried Raw on his back throughout most of the year, only to drop it to Goldberg and have a US title match against Jericho at WrestleMania. Not really the proper send-off they deserved, and then only to be told by Vince McMahon that the match was bad. I mean, again, he did kind of get his revenge for that, so I guess that one's kind of dealt with. But this dude really does deserve another world championship reign. He's held his minor titles, he's done his fair share in the mid-card, whether it be as IC or US champion. It is time for him to get another world title reign, whether it be with the Universal or probably WWE Championship, since he is currently on the Raw brand. I really do want to see the prize fighter that we saw in NXT as WWE champion.